Hey gang, what's going on? I just want to talk about Jesus Luzardo and Dylan Cease a little bit. Dylan Cease in terms of asking price, and Jesus Luzardo in terms of is he still a good option for the Yankees? So before I get in that, if you could hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons, that'd be greatly appreciated. It's extremely helpful for the channel and gives me great feedback on what you guys think of the content that I put out. So we are on the road to 500 subscribers. I thank you all who have subscribed. So let's get into it. Starting with Dylan Cease. So Dylan Cease's asking price is still skyrocketed high. Now, I have said on numerous occasions, I will not trade Spencer Jones for Dylan Cease. If you're asking me for, if the White Sox are asking for Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez, they better be ready to fork over, or be asked to fork over Luis Robert in a deal for him, because I am not giving Spencer Jones up for Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones. That's not going to happen unless you're giving me something in return that is worth a Spencer Jones, like a Luis Robert. So no way will I give up Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez for just Dylan Cease. That's not a fair trade at all. That is an overpay for a guy who's had one good year. Okay, now he has pitched over 200 innings with 200 plus strikeouts the last 3 years. That still does not make it a trade that's worth it. So if you're going to do that, you better be adding Luis Robert into that deal, because Dylan Cease, the asking price for Dylan Cease is astronomical, and it's actually laughable. Because the Orioles have called up about him, and the White Sox asked for Jackson Holliday, and what did the Orioles do? They laughed at them and hung up the phone. No one is going to pay that price, so they can either hold on to him or they can lower their asking price and try to work with teams instead of trying to completely fleece them. Now, I get it. They have to be. They have to. Think of their players highly, and they have to sell very high on them, and I understand that. All teams should do that, but eventually they're going to have to come back to the planet Earth and come down to reality and say that we're not going to get that. We're not getting what we want. So we can either hold on to him or lower our asking price and try to work with teams who are looking to acquire him and try to meet them in the middle. So that's my thoughts on that. Getting on to Jesus Luzardo, who's also been linked to the Yankees. I just want to go over his injury history, because he is a very injury-prone pitcher. And the Marlins are asking for either Dominguez or Spencer in a deal for Luzardo, and I am not about ready to give him up either. I'm actually seeing a hard pass to Jesus Luzardo. So these are the injuries that he's had. In 2016, he had Tommy John surgery when he was a high school senior. He was also drafted that summer by the Oakland Athletics. So that's one injury. Injury number one. In 2017, he returned from Tommy John surgery in June. So he recovered from his Tommy John surgery, went through the whole rehab process, came back in June of 17, and pitched for Oakland. In 2018, he missed 2.5 months with a rotator cuff strain. Right there is a red flag. That means his rotator cuff was going, and he must have done something to it to aggravate it. So that's a red flag right there, on top of the first Tommy John surgery. In 2019, he missed 1.5 months with a lat strain. And a lat strain injury is very serious. It can be, especially for pitchers. So not something you want to hear. In 2020, he was healthy. So that was the healthy season number one. In 2021, he missed 1 month with a broken pinky, which he broke playing video games. So I am not about that. In 2022, he missed 3.5 months with a forearm strain. That's already a red flag, and um, that sounds like he's on his way to his second Tommy John if he does anything more to it. And last year was his second healthy year. So out of the time that he's been in the big leagues, he's been healthy for 2 seasons, which is a very big red flag. I am not about that. I am taking a hard pass on Jesus Luzardo, and I'm looking to another Marlins pitcher, Edward Cabrera. I am not taking on Jesus Luzardo so the Marlins can dump an injury-prone pitcher on us. We already have enough injury-prone guys as it is. We don't need any more. We are trying to build this team to be a championship team. Jesus Luzardo is not the answer. I do not feel it is a smart move. I do not feel like we should be giving up anybody for Jesus Luzardo. In fact, I think we should steer as clear as from him as possible. Jesus Luzardo is injury prone. From the injuries I just told you about, it's not worth the prospects. It's not worth the capital. I do not see it as a good reward. The risk is definitely not worth the reward. As good as he was last year, the risk doesn't match the reward, and I don't think it's worth it. I would rather take my chances on Snell or Cease over Luzardo and try and work with Chicago to get a deal done for that. So you guys let me know what you think. Until next time, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.